So we are live now. Good morning, everyone, or should I say good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today in our webinar. Today's webinar is about SEO tips for accounting firms in Dubai looking to grow their corporation tax services. I am very happy to be joined by Yasser, who is a SEO expert. We use him for our other company and for Taxstar as well, and he's been really instrumental in helping our ranking go up. Today's webinar is mainly going to be about, right now the UAE has introduced corporation tax, and the major deadlines for most companies is now the 30th of September 2025, which means there's 600,000 businesses in the UAE, and a lot of them need to file their returns by September. Now, there's a lot of new accounting firms that have grown. There's some old accounting firms that have been around for quite some time, and I guess this is more of a refresh on how SEO, search engine optimization, can support you in your growth to acquire customers as a business. We'll also explain, what the new trends are. There's a bit of AI that Yasser will talk about as well, and so I'm super excited to learn about what these new things that Yasser is going to talk to us about. My name is Rayhan Aleem. I am the co-founder of Taxstar. I'm also the founder of Alpha4 Partners. So I also have my own accounting firm. We're the first AI-based corporation tax calculator to be released in the UAE. And we mainly support accounting firms to help them be more efficient in their tax calculation. Yasser, do you want to just give us a quick introduction?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Yaz. I'm the founder of Yasser UK. We're an SEO-driven agency that rank #1 for SEO consultant in the UK. We help most of our clients, all our clients, rank for their most valuable keywords, and we've got clients within payments, fintech, biotech. We're very results focused as well, so and as data-driven as we can be.
Thank you for that, Yasser. So, like I said, we're going to mainly focus on giving tips and advice on for accounting firms, specifically on SEO and specifically on corporation tax, and how they can get as many customers as possible, or as many leads as possible. So, in terms of where we're at with corporation tax, Taxstar as a product, what we want to do is we've built a product, a corporation tax product that simplifies the calculation and allows you to take on more customers and clients. We want to make sure that Taxstar is a single source of truth. So when you have your tax return and when you're filing it for the first time and you have an audit, everything's in one place. It's not all over the place where it's on accounting systems, on emails, on WhatsApp. And so we want to free up your time so you can spend more time on advisory. One of the things I mentioned in one of the events that we organized last month was, as we get closer to the deadline, there's a lot of entrepreneurs who don't think about corporation tax, or they're on holiday. Once they come back into Dubai in September, they're going to realize they've got a tax return due. They probably haven't even registered, to be honest, right? And so I'm expecting a massive surge of requests from businesses who are looking to get the corporation tax return done. And that's where you, the accounting firm, can take on that work. And this is where SEO helps you as well. Now, before we get to the SEO part of the webinar, I just want to kind of highlight three main things that we at Taxstar provide. So we have three main features that are very useful for accounting firms. One is an AI-powered tax calculator, where we pull in the data from your accounting system and we use AI to make that a lot more efficient. We produce financial statements. So every company is required to produce IFRS financial statements. We have an IFRS for SMEs template, which you can use, which allows you not to create a template on Word or Excel. We have it on our system. And then you've got document expiry reminders. From the 1st of April this year, the FTA said that if your documents are not updated on the FTA portal within 20 working days, you get a 5,000 dirham penalty. And that includes passports, Emirates ID, trade licenses. It could even include change of name, change of address as well. So we have that in there, so we remind you, and so you can then remind your client to then get those documents done. And that also enables you, the accounting firm, to monetize off that as well. So accounting firms do charge for changing documents on the FTA portal for their clients, and this is something that you can use to monetize off the back of as well. That's my plug for now. Now we'll go back to Yasser, and we will talk about SEO, how it can help accounting firms, and what are the trends that are happening now that you, the accounting firm owner, can take advantage of. So Yasser, over to you. Just so you know, I have to change the slides, so just let me know when you want to change to the next slides.
Oh, cool. All right, thanks, Ray. And this is just again just a little bit more about me and just my background, so you guys know how it kind of fits in. Also, with the pressing deadline as well, I think it's more and more important that that you're visible, especially when the deadline's in place. So this is hopefully will enable you to put in some actions to enable you to kind of achieve that. So I'm Yaz. I've got over 18 years of experience in marketing, general marketing. I used to be a VP of market of Rocket Internet out in Berlin, head of marketing for a challenger bank, and got expertise in everything to do with marketing, but specifically SEO, paid search, and web. We've been going now for 5+ years. We specialize in SEO and Webflow. I've lived in Berlin, and an Arsenal fan with two daughters. So so yeah, me and Ray don't quite get on when it comes to Liverpool. Next slide, Ray, please. Okay, so some of the things that we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about why SEO matters for tax firms or your tax firms right now. We're going to be talking about some of the real kind of key kind of SEO fundamentals. I'm going to assume that everybody knows what SEO is. If you actually let me not assume, but I'll go into that. Obviously, it's something that's changing quite often as well, so it's maybe good to have a bit of a refresh. The type of content that's ranking at the moment and why it's important for you. Some real practical examples, and hopefully some quick wins that you can implement today and take away into your, if you've got a marketing team, if you've got an SEO agency, if you're doing it yourself, hopefully some things that you can take away and start to implement today. And the most exciting thing is questions. To be honest, that's where I feel like we can take away like the most valuable insights from these kind of webinars and presentations. So the next slide, Ray. So just before I go into why SEO matters for you right now, SEO is if you go into Google and you type in corporation tax UAE, you'll get the first 4 kind of listings above the top, which will say paid ads. You'll also now get AI overviews as well, which is organic. You don't have to pay for those. And then there's the organic listings below. What we specialize in is getting people in the organic listings above, but also in the AI overviews. And we can maybe do some searches a little bit later on to show you what they look like. But at the moment, what we've identified is that there's immense growth for corporation tax related search terms, people looking for corporation tax in the UAE. And you know, these kind of numbers in this spreadsheet kind of just given an indication, and we're going to share these afterwards as well, Ray, aren't we? Because people want to know.
Yeah,
them. If you can go on to the next slide, please. So here you can see, for example, in terms of like the yearly growth, there's been a 445% increase in people looking for corporate tax filing in the UAE. That's obviously because of the imminent deadline. This shows quite a massive kind of opportunity for companies that if you're ranking #1, for that to hopefully be present and visible for that. So, for example, if you rank #1 corporate tax UAE, Ray, for example, then obviously you're attracting the right type of customers and right visibility for the product and the service that you offer. If you go on to the next slide, please. So simple steps, like what good SEO is is an amalgamation of a number of different kind of nuances. So it's making sure ultimately that you have a website that can get crawled by Google and is favored by the ease of the crawlability. And that's where the technical part of the website kind of comes in place, more than just a website that loads quickly. And we'll go on to the details afterwards. So, but ultimately, have a website that can get crawled well by Google and that is favored and that is built correctly. Secondly, have a content strategy that will not only enable you to appear in AI overviews, but will enable you to rank for or drive the right type of customers to your website. The third thing is build links ultimately, or build brand mentions. And that is ultimately third-party websites that are saying that you are doing a great job or that you are specialists in A, B, C, and D. And we'll go on to where Ray's done that quite successfully kind of already. EAT and Your Money, Your Life are two sets of criteria by Google that ultimately all they mean is just to make sure it's a checklist that Google provides that you should adhere to, that ultimately just says, is your website as trustworthy as possible? Are these guys specialists in financial services and accountancy? And we can show some examples of how we've done that, or how I'd advise you to do it on your website. And again, brand mentions, like making sure that with AI as well, there's a lot of analysis at the moment that basically that a lot of people in the industry are saying that are vital, and that's making sure that your brand is getting mentioned. That's why I believe digital PR is very, very important moving forward. It always has been, but even there's more of an emphasis on it. Yeah, and some other things that we'll kind of go into as well.
Can I also make a comment as well, or ask a question, right?
Yeah.
So you obviously mentioned when you use Google to search for information or search for service providers, they're going to see paid ads, they're going to see the AI kind of thing on Google, and then they'll see the Google the Google kind of search as well, the organic search, sorry.
Yeah.
So I just want to take a step back, right? Obviously, SEO helps you with the organic search and the AI search. But one question or one thing that maybe accountants should know or probably don't know is when it comes to paid ads, which is Google ads, and when it comes to SEO, in your experience, when you get leads from one of the two, which tends to be more of a strong lead and which ones convert better, in your opinion?
Yeah.
I'll give you my opinion afterwards, but I want to
Yeah,
hear from
obviously, like I'm the SEO guy, right? So am I going to be biased? But no, look, I've worked for a lot of fintech financial services firms. So all my experience is in this industry. The ROI and the quality of SEO leads have always been the best.
So I would echo that. So usually what happens is when it comes to paid ads, we do get a lot of leads, but they tend to be low quality leads, and it takes up a lot of the time of sales to qualify them and set up calls and then give a quote. But in terms of how it works for us with SEO, we tend to get better quality leads, because if you think about it, if someone has the intent to buy something and they're really researching you, the company, they would have to go through certain pages and read through the text to really understand who you are and understand your branding. Whereas with paid ads, you just see at the top, you just click a button, be lazy, and just say, can you give me a quote? And I've done that as well, by the way. So whenever I've, like, not for accounting, but if I've done other, let's say I'm shopping around for curtains, for example, I'll just do curtains, and then they all got WhatsApp. Sorry. They've all got like a WhatsApp chat bar, and I'll just click on it, and I'll say, can you give me a quote for this curtain? And then I'm waiting for the quotes, and then that's it. And ideally, that's not the type of client that you want as a business, right? You want someone who's going to be a bit more sophisticated and a bit more who value your services, not the ones who are just.
I actually really like paid ads as well, but the reason I did a webinar earlier this year about how companies can use the data insights from paid ads to drive their SEO strategy. So it's a quick way where you can validate the types of topics and phrases that people actually use to convert.
Yeah.
So if you if companies, I get a lot of companies come to me that have been running paid ads for 3 or 4 years and just saying, look, yeah, this is costing us like a lot of money. Can we have more of a kind of organic kind of strategy? And the first thing I ask is, okay, you've been running paid ads. Have you been are your conversions set up correctly? Can you pull me a search queries report, which you can get in ads, which tells you the exact phrases people have used to drive leads to your business? So I would encourage anybody, if they've been doing that, to pull that report. Reach out to me. I can show you how to pull the report, or I can show you the old webinar that we did earlier in the year that will enable you to do that, because that is a super insightful report. And then you can start to bid for those terms organically or work that into your organic strategy.
Yeah, no, thanks for that.
Okay, so in terms of going back, like the first thing we talked about is the technical kind of importance of your site. And these are some things that I would really recommend everybody does straight away. So the screenshot on the left-hand side is a screenshot from a Google Search Console. Google Search Console is a free tool that Google provides that gives you the stats on how people get into your website, how Google's crawling your website, how it's getting used. So that's something that I would install today if you haven't already, or get access to it. This is a screenshot from page coverage, which basically ultimately tells us the most pressing issues across the site that I would address. This is one of the first things I do. I go into here, analyze the state of play, and then come up with an action plan on how to fix these issues. So what I would do is, step one, audit the page coverage tab in GSE, identify and fix these issues. The second thing I would do as well is audit all your content. So Google is it's got something called crawl budget. So what that means is what ultimately that means, it's very, very particular about how it crawls website, and our job is to make it as easy as possible for them to do that. If you've got a website which is, say, 300 pages, if 50% of that content across the site is not driving any interactions, any clicks, what does that tell Google about the quality of your site? That's a question that you need to ask. So one of the first things we do is we audit all the content on clients' websites, and we segment the 0-click pages that are driving 0 clicks based on impressions. Anything that is within the bucket of less than 100 clicks, 100 impressions, 0 clicks, that for a sustained period of time, really think about what you do with that content. Do you block or you delete it? Anything which has got 100 impressions or above, they've got a case for being optimized and driving clicks. Again, we can go into the detail. I've got a lot of stuff on my LinkedIn that shows you how to do that. Fix broken links and redirect chains. These are, again, like if you've got a broken link on your website, it's not great for usability. It's not great for SEO. Redirect chains are ultimately a technical term for adding another step within a journey. So they need to be audited, and there should always be one hop from destination 1 to destination B. And the last one should not be underestimated. Internal links are really important. If you've done SEO before, everybody talks about external link building. Yes, that is important, but internal linking is ultimately telling Google in a physical way what your most important pages are. So, for example, if you want to rank for corporate tax in the UAE, and you've identified that you want this landing page to ultimately rank for it, are you sending enough internal signals to that page to tell Google that this is your most important page from your own website? That's really, really important. And there's some tools like Screaming Frog, Sitebulb to do this as well. Next slide, please, right? Okay, so AI is a very big buzzword, right, at the moment. And I've got a bit of a gripe about it, because everybody is saying that they're an AIO specialist, terms like GEO and all this sort of stuff. I don't really want to get started. I don't have all the answers yet. I don't think anybody is a real kind of AI specialist at the moment, but we're doing a lot of testing. And this is what we found based on our own kind of testing and our examples. So what AI is looking for at the moment, based on what we've got ranking for our clients, are facts-based, expert-level content. People asking the direct answers to very specific questions, and I'll go on how you can do the analysis to enable to enforce your content strategy moving forwards. Content formatted for in a correct way, like with lists, bullet points, short paragraphs, FAQs. So in terms of key actions, what I would do is answer very, very simple kind of questions in very clear language, use FAQ sections and schema markup. Schema markup is basically some code in the background that tells Google what type of content you're portraying or trying to get to rank. Data, include data. Optimize for EEAT, and we'll go on to that as well. And the last thing is maybe think more like a teacher than a marketer. Like just try and add value. Like, just try and add value, and that's the most important thing. Next slide, please, Ray. Okay, so this is something that's going. It's quite a big deal within the SEO industry at the moment. So what people are noticing through search and Google Search Console is with the rollout of AI, impressions are going up. So the more the websites for all clients are getting more and more visible, but the clicks are pretty much flat. And the reason why that is Google's rolled out and slowly rolling out AI overview kind of across the board. And there's something that so clients are driving less clicks, but they're becoming more visible, and it's getting harder to track. And what we're calling that is zero-click search. And what we're finding as well is that in order to rank in AI overviews, if you're doing SEO really well, like you're going to rank in AI overview. And that's what we're seeing. Like the clients that we're getting ranked number 1 to number 3, they're getting appeared in Gemini, ChatGPT. We've got some things on that as well. This screenshot on the right-hand side is from a really cool tool that we use a lot of. It's called Also Asked, which you guys can have a look at. And it basically details all the real-time questions people are asking with regards to a certain product or service at the moment. So the screenshot's a bit hard to see, but what you can see here is these are all like the real-time kind of questions people are asking with regards to corporation tax in the UAE now. So these are what we would do with this is what we do with this is we kind of we analyze the content, and then we kind of structure that into content briefs for our copywriters to make sure that they address all the questions, and that will enable them to rank for those really kind of relevant kind of search terms. With AI overviews as well, what we've noticed is it's favoring informative content, informative kind of top of the funnel content, like what, why is. So what we're doing is we're doubling down on our commercial transactional intent search terms for landing pages. We've always done that, like and that's what's going to drive leads to the business, like in the imminent. Like so, for example, I'm looking for a corporate tax consultant in the UAE. That for me, that would be a landing page. Or you might say, what are the main principles for corporate tax or eligibility criteria? That would be more of kind of an informative piece, which you might incorporate into a guide versus a landing page. So guides are for and blogs I would tailor more towards AI and content and informative search, and transactional kind of commercial intent for landing pages. That's what I would advise, and that's what we're doing at the moment. Next slide. Link building and trust for the brand. So what we talked about before is links have always been really important. It's like if you're getting a link from an external website, it's like a mark of trust. Obviously, it has to be from a relevant website as well, and that's even more important. But we're finding that websites that get mentioned more often and getting linked to are getting referenced in AI, ChatGPT, Claude, like all the most trustworthy tools. So here's an example on the left hand side of Ray was just featured in the Gulf News about Taxstar. Like that's great. Do you know what I mean? That's definitely the sort of stuff that you need to continue to be doing, which will favor your ability to get your website to rank better, but also get featured in AI. So that's really important, and it just builds trust as well. So next slide. Right. Again, Google's got a set of very kind of criteria to enable, like we talked about, Your Money, Your Life, and EAT. They can all be found. The criteria can be found on Google Search Console's Google Searches profile online. The screenshot of the reviews on the left-hand side, great. You need reviews on your website. Builds trust. Showcase hands-on experience. Talk about regulatory update and guidelines. Publish thought leadership content. Display testimonials across your site as well. Yeah, just all these points. Just the key point is why would people trust me that I'm an expert in this field?
Question. You've got Trustpilot, right?
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be logical that Google reviews are more important than Trustpilot? Or does it not make sense?
I wouldn't say. I think reviews in general are important. This is just like a screenshot that I just grabbed, to be honest. It's not really. I think reviews are important in general.
Is there a preference between Google reviews and Trustpilot?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't. But to be fair, I haven't tested the impact of Google reviews versus Trustpilot. But I've got clients that are using Trustpilot on all Google reviews, and I haven't really seen a difference. It's just important. And I think we need to be thinking less about what Google wants and obviously more about what the user wants, right? So if a user, and we want to convert. So if you're going to have reviews on your website, people are going to trust you more and hopefully fill in an inquiry. So I think that's kind of why we need to try and, as SEOs, we get very caught up in what Google wants. And I probably said it a lot here without realizing, but it's more about what the customer wants, and it's just finding that balance. Next slide, please. Also as well, like just building your brand is very, very important. It's just, again, like if you build a trustworthy brand like you're doing with Taxstar, for example, I think it's very important. Like I think you've got about 9,000 followers on LinkedIn. You're getting press mentions. We're working on your SEO. You're doing, it's SEO shouldn't be seen as a silo. It should be seen as part of your overall kind of marketing strategy, but it's something that should run in background. And we just need to get better at measuring the impact over time. And that could probably be with the obviously non-branded traffic getting to your site and your brand. Next slide. Here are some things that I'm testing at the moment, and I would advise you guys to do. Is Wikipedia. Wikipedia is getting referenced more and more in AI with regards to sources. So one thing that we're doing is with a couple of our clients is making sure that we've got all the content in Wikipedia pages up to date. Tailoring top of the funnel content for informative search, like we talked about before. Doubling down on commercial terms for landing pages. We talked about if you're running PPC, use the search terms report. Work with your PR team to leverage branded and non-branded opportunities and build links. That's something we're doing a lot of. Like we're teaming up with PR agencies to really leverage the work that they're doing. They're going to become very, very important and very rich as well, I think, in the future, if they're not already. Align SEO with customer service insights. This should be the first thing. Think less about keywords and think more about what your actual clients want. So, for example, you, Ray, right? You've probably got lots of questions people are asking you at the moment, right? Or your team at the moment about corporation tax. Like we should pull all those questions and start to incorporate those into our content strategy if we're not already. Get featured on podcasts. They're really great. They also mention you and link to you and put you in front of hopefully the right audience, providing you select them correctly. And build stats pages on your site. Stats pages are a great way of showing you're an expert. And also what I found is when journalists are looking for something to write, they often look for statistics. They tend to rank quite easily, and then you could get referenced and build links. And we've got examples of stuff we've done before. Next slide, please. Okay, so here's a practical example of something that I did with a company that I used to work for in Berlin. So, an example of how you can leverage your PR agency to build you links and improve your brand to get you to rank. So, This is a company that I used to work for. They used to provide unsecured business loans. They were a fintech. At the time, fintech was very much kind of like a buzzword. It was quite new, and universities like Oxford, Cambridge, etc., were doing fintech programs. So what we decided, our goal was to rank #1 for unsecured business loans. We wanted to build links from universities. Universities are notoriously very hard to build links from. So what we did is we built a campaign. We built a campaign, or designed a campaign, which was to offer a student a percent up to £8,000 towards their fees, if they could tell us why they wanted to. They had to send us a video on why they wanted to study fintech. And then we outreached to universities and told them that we had this great offering. And as a result, we built 32 links from universities within 6 months, and we got them ranking in the top 3 for unsecured business loans. So this is just a practical example of how you can be creative with your PR agencies or with your internal teams to build links as well, and something that we should think about. So just to kind of get you thinking. Next slide. Yeah, that's it, I think. So if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. But yeah, I hope you guys find that useful.
No, thank you very much, Yas. There's a lot of new insights that you've provided us, so that was really useful. If anyone wants to contact you, you can give them a free demo. You can just give them a run through their website and see what they can improve as well, correct?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay. We do not have any questions at the moment. So what I might do is I might just be the person who asks you the difficult questions, and then you could probably answer them.
Yeah.
You're obviously based in the UK, right? But you
Yeah.
do have customers in the UAE.
Yeah.
Other kind of things that you see in the UK that maybe the UAE is catching up to, or maybe the UAE has caught up, but the UK is now lagging behind. Is there any differences between the SEO and Google between the two regions?
I just think that the UAE is maybe is less competitive, because the quality of, how do I say it, the quality of the work in the UAE is maybe not the best. Like, there's a lot of websites that are ranking for very competitive terms that I think shouldn't be ranking if somebody came in with a solid kind of SEO strategy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. SEO is also like, how's it? I think everybody knows about SEO, right? And it may be what I'm really trying to do is trying to improve the brand of SEO and the reputation of SEO by hopefully doing it the right way as well. And there's a lot of kind of, within SEO, people, how do I say it, offer low fees and the quality of the work is not the best. So I think there is quite a big opportunity in the UAE to do it right.
Leading on to that, so if you take on an SEO agency, there's a lot of things that they talk about, things like, oh, it takes 3 months, 6 months to rank. Sometimes they give you poor backlinks, sometimes they do weird stuff on your website. What are the kind of key things that someone should look out for when they are assessing the performance of the agency that they've signed up?
Well, I think if you go into a conversation and somebody says, "I guarantee you results in 3 months," that's one of the biggest kind of things. Like, we never give clients guarantees. We can't, because Google's changing all the time. I'll give you an example. I've just taken on a client in the UK. They do ice baths. And the same conversation, the guy's been burnt by agencies so many times that he says he doesn't trust anybody. And so we've taken him on board, and he was like, "How long is it going to take me?" I was like, "I don't know. We've got him ranking #2 in 3 months. Like, I've even surprised myself." But Google's constantly running out core updates. So that's #1. I think fees as well. Like, if you're paying £200 for SEO, I think you need to ask yourself what you're going to get for that. £200 is, you're not paying a PR agency £200 to build links, are you? If you think about that, right? So yeah, I think that's something to really kind of think about as well. So there's a lot that can get into. If they're not using Google Search Console and you're just getting reports from like third-party tools like SEMrush and Ahrefs, etc. Something else that's really important. If they can't give you very solid kind of case studies and examples of work that they've done before as well, I think that's also really important as well. And there's more of a focus on leads as well, as opposed to kind of, if somebody's just rolling out 3 or 4, their key metrics are number of keywords, number of blogs that they're posting out. That's something that I would be very conscious of. The way that we measure the impact and growth of SEO is the total number of queries that a website or a domain increase for. If you're just tracking a few keywords, then that's something that I would also be very kind of conscious of.
We've got a question from Mahmoud. He's asking, how do you measure the ROI when working with an agency?
Okay, so ROI, so I'll give you an example. Obviously, it depends what industry you're in. The way that we work on ROI is trying to understand what type of clients the business wants, and then looking at the number of leads that we generate for that business in time. Every client has got their own kind of KPIs, but like, so this company that we work with within e-commerce, he can see the direct impact of us getting him ranking number 2 for iSpace is having on his sales. Do you know, if you and I were working, you want to know, Yaz, we've got you ranking for corporate tax filing. We've chosen that keyword or topic because we know that that's a topic that's going to drive new customers. Do you know, so, okay, like, Yaz, you've got me ranking for corporate tax UAE. It's driving me new business. The phone's ringing. That's how we measure the ROI. But we also need the company to be very transparent with us with regards to, so like for some companies, we've built very specific dashboards so we can measure like the amount of traffic and leads that are coming in from a business. So yeah, so we speak to the client, we are trying to understand what type of customers they want, and then we do our best with trying to get the right type of visitors to the site. After that, it's really down to the client for them to convert them and feedback to us whether we're doing a good job or not with the type of people that come into the site.
I've got another question for you. This is from me. So people buy from people, right? And marketing for accountants is very much B2B. It's not B2C. And so many accounting firm owners, they should obviously have their personal branding. They should post on LinkedIn as themselves and do stuff that way as well. Obviously, SEO isn't necessarily pushing the accounting firm owner's profile, but it is pushing their business. So if someone's setting up an accounting firm from scratch, for example, what are the main kind of channels you would advise them to, marketing channels you would advise them to do while they're setting out for the first time?
It's a bit of a broad question because it also depends on like what type of clients they're trying to attract. So for example, if they're looking for clients that want just specifically audits. So one thing I didn't mention is in a previous job, I set up an accountancy lead generation website, which was generating about 35 leads a week. And they were predominantly from PPC, paid search. And the way we did that is, like, initially we started doing paid search, and I'll get onto the question as well. I just want to give an example. And initially we did it and we were bidding on terms like accountancy, audits. It wasn't generating any leads. But then what we realized is that people liked the accountants that were in their specific location. So when we started bidding on terms like accountants in London, Fulham, blah, 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 that's where the leads came. So, but also they were very low level leads as well, right? Not people that wanted, but then we dubbed down and then we said, like, the PPC could work, but it depends on the type of clients and the ROI that you're looking to gain from those types of clients, because it needs to make sense financially. SEO is always a great channel, but something that should be run in background. I think partnerships across the board within B2B is always the best quality. like you've told me this, Ray, as well before as well, right? And we're seeing it within our business, like, you know, building a reputation and building a brand so people want to refer stuff to you organically. And marketing should be used to support that. SEO should be used to support that. With LinkedIn as well, is like we can't be totally sure, but we're definitely noticing a correlation between ranking well and posting things regularly on LinkedIn, 100%, because it improves then your brand, right? So that's so I'd say
Google can monitor LinkedIn to see how you're doing,
yeah,
and it will incorporate it in your ranking, in your SEO.
Some things that I haven't mentioned is like CRO, like looking at once you get people to your website, getting them to convert. Google is actively using click data as well to rank your website. So even like little things like making sure that somebody can fill in a form, you know, or can click on a button. Those are stuff that is super important that we've tested. Having more media assets like videos on your site as well, so people stay on your page for longer to reduce the bounce rate. There's a free tool called Microsoft Clarity, that is really good. I would encourage everybody to install, and that gives you very clear insights into how people are like behaving with your website, where they're dropping off, where they're getting frustrated. That's something that's really cool. So number one, I would probably say, if you're starting up a new accountancy firm, you'll probably know better, right, than me, hopefully, is partnerships is the best thing. SEO in background to support your brand, but hopefully drive your leads as well, where the good quality is going to come from. If you've got budget, run PPC to drive the insights to inform your SEO strategy. I think you have quite a lot of success at events as well, right? So, so people get to know you. But yeah, those are the things that I will do. But yeah, for even different things, like even sending letters to people has worked really well for us. For certain B2B.
Send letters in the UAE, by the way.
Yeah. In the UK, it's worked quite well for certain clients as well. But yeah, those are the sort of things. Yeah. But what worked really well for in PPC, for example, is also like sending people to a downloadable. If you bid on corporation tax, send them to a white paper that gives them information about corporation tax, because everybody's want to learn about it. Get them to download it, and that becomes a semi-ward kind of lead that you can nurture and speak to in the future. There's so much you can do, right? These webinars have been pretty good as well for me as well, like trying to educate and inform people about things like corporation tax and know where to go to.
Cool. No, thank you very much for your insights. You've already had one fan who said that this is very useful and practical. Best way for people to get in contact?
They can. I would love them to connect with me on LinkedIn. That'd be great. You can send me a LinkedIn message, or just obviously send me an email as well. If anybody's got any questions or wants me to look at their site, I'll be happy to.
And we can share the slides as well later on afterwards. Yeah. This session is recorded, so it will be available on LinkedIn. It will also be available on YouTube. Yeah, thank you very much, Yasser, for your time, and thank you for everyone who's joined us today. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you. Bye.